Alright, everyone, welcome to today's recap. I hope you all are doing well and staying blessed. If you all are new here, my name is Jeremiah. I'm a day trader. I trade small cap stocks, momentum, and breakouts. I stream every single day, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I upload my recaps after every trading session, regardless of whether I'm red or green. Today is day 6 of my scaling up challenge. And as you guys can tell by the title and the thumbnail, today is a $113 red day. Um, with today being another outsized loss, I think I'm going to switch back to small size or the simulator because I feel as though I rushed the process of sizing up. And when I started to do well in my one trade a day challenge, the market was also heating up. So that gave me maybe a false sense of confidence, or maybe I'm not ready to take more than one trade. We'll have to see. But I'll go back to one trade a day, most likely, one or two trades a day with very small size. So with that, let's jump right into today's recap. So the first trade was on NUWE. Um, this stock has a float of 1.6 million shares. So a low float stock. I don't know what exactly the news was on this. I don't think there was any. Yeah, I don't think there was any. But my first trade on it was right here. Hold on. So it was this 10-second setup right here. We had a bull flag forming, and so I thought I'd get in for first candle to make a new high on the 10-second. I took an early entry. Um, I didn't even wait for first candle to make a new high. This candle did not even make a new high, the one right after it, and I ended up well my stop loss, my mental stop loss was if it wasn't holding this support level right here. Well, now it's a resistance level, but it broke above it, and I was like, okay, well, that's not what I was expecting. And then it dips down, touches this support level, and then rips. And of course, I get right back in right after that, which is not a trade I'm proud of. It did go in my direction, but it wasn't the best looking trade at all. Um, but yeah, it would have been a better trade had I waited for confirmation or bought off of this support level right here. These are all daily levels. And I could have held that a little bit longer, of course, but it wasn't a great trade. I kind of FOMO'd in, to be honest. So not very long after, I take another trade on it. My thought process here was that it was pretty close to support. I'd hold this as my stop. I got a higher entry than I was expecting, so I was like, okay, well, now my stop is a bit further than I would have liked, but it didn't even matter because it just shot through my mental stop anyways. So I'm in at 90. My stop is theoretically at 577, so 13-cent stop. And pretty immediate rejection. Um, so that was actually a 20-cent loser, sorry. So yeah, 7 cents below my mental stop, and that was really unfortunate. $10 loser on that one. Once again, I take another entry just shortly after that loss. Just making the same old mistakes. It was first candle to make a new high on the 1 minute, but the problem with this is that this wick is so big that my stop is already, I mean, I guess it's 10 cents away, but still. And it's already showing signs of weakness right there. Pops and then rejects. Just wasn't happening. That was enough to decide that it was a false breakout, to be honest. But I waited a little bit longer. Still sold it relatively not not a good trade, honestly. I don't think I should have traded this stock, honestly. This stock was not easy to trade. I think we've traded this one before. I know it's popped up, but I can't remember. Obviously now I know it's not easy to trade, and um, but anyways, next trade. So this trade was on CYN. This stock has a float of 7.5 million shares. So another pretty low float stock, but I didn't really give it a chance to hold up. I just bought it because it seemed like it was pulling away, and I actually ended up buying higher than the stock appeared to go. So it went to 92. I bought it at 93. Um, just really unfortunate. And I ended up selling, obviously, for a pretty decent sized loss. That was about 40 cents. A little bit more than that, 40, 44, if my math is correct. Or sorry, 30, sorry, 34. Um, yeah, not a good trade. Not a good trade. So that was one loss that equaled the the few losses I took on NUWE. I took 3 losses on it. So once again, another trade not long after my loss. This stock JZXN is a Chinese company with a float of 1.39 million shares. And obviously they're selling shares. This stock has a shelf registration for 500 million shares. CYN has a shelf registration for, I mean, not 500 million shares, $500 million worth of shares. CYN also has a shelf registration for $300 million worth of shares. This entry, honestly, don't know. I mean, I guess it was the break over this pivot on the 10-second. Yeah, not a good entry. No news on this stock either. I don't think NUWE had news either. Or no, NUWE I think did. CYN maybe not. Could be wrong, but I know for a fact this did not have news. So once again, I hop in this terrible stock. Um, I'm thinking we're at 90 MA, so we have somewhat of support. And I had the feeling that this wasn't working. You know, it popped up a little bit from my entry for a second, and I was like, you know what, this does not seem like it's working. Should probably sell it. I was like, yeah, this is not gonna work. But you know, the stubborn me just wanted to hold it, and so I took the loss on it. Another $7. And then I was like, okay, it's not pulling away here. But of course, I didn't sell it, and I just let it drop. So that brought me to $72 in the red. Just these 3 stocks alone. I'm overtrading for sure. Overtrading for sure. This is way more trades than I took on my green day yesterday. If I had stopped at 4 trades like the 4 trades I had yesterday, it would have been a $17 red day, which is not good compared to an $11 green day, but still would have been better than $113 in the red. Okay, so this was the icing on the cake. HIND. This was probably the most maybe reliable stock I get. I don't even want. I don't know. So this huge topping tail here on the 1 minute, or this, what's it called? Jackknife. Getting in for the break through the high of day. This thing has some crazy range, so obviously this is a risky trade. Um, and I'm up $10 there just in that small amount there. Should have taken profit, but I was holding for the bigger move, of course. I knew this wasn't gonna work. I knew this was in a pullback. That's slow and steady drop is never what you want to see. It looks like people are buying, but someone is just selling so many shares, just pushing it down. A bunch of green going through, and the price is not moving. And so the caution flag was up, but I ignored it. And see, it's only a $5 loss had I just taken it there, but no. You'll be surprised. I thought I did a decent job of letting go of my losers, and then here comes this trade, and that's all out the window. Yeah. So I need to be more picky with the stocks I traded. I shouldn't have traded most of these. This one for sure, Chinese stock, should not have traded it. CYN should not have traded it. Just I overtraded it, to be quite honest. That's really all. I think I took another trade on CYN because it was at $17 in the red. I'll go over that one after we look at this. So false breakout there. We had a 1 minute setup that brought me to $113 in the red, and that was my last trade for the day. But I'll go back and do the trade I missed really quick. Okay, so I actually took two more trades on CYN. This one was a loss. It was a breakthrough the high of day trade. Just this stock did not want to pull away. None of the stocks I traded seemed to want to pull away. Um, Obviously, I was late to the party on most of these. Obviously, for HIND, I was really late to the party for that one. Um, and then for these breakout setups, just I don't know, they just didn't want to work today. I tried to let go of that right away, selling at the ask, but look, like this thing touches my entry point a few times, and I'm like, okay, it's gonna pull away here, but there's a hidden seller. Somebody is selling at that level. A bunch of green just went through on that at 82, and yet it won't even attempt to break. And I was like, you know what? I'll give it one more chance. If it doesn't want to break, then I'm selling it. And I sold it, and lo and behold, it sold off. So I'm glad I sold that where I did. Um, at least there's something to be happy about, right? There's always something. There's always a silver lining. So gotta just look on the bright side of things. And this is just another lesson that the market taught me today. Tough one and pretty expensive. All right, so here's my last trade on CYN. Um, I was buying above the support level. I kind of liked this trade the other few days where it's just I'm buying just above support, and then my stop is technically at support. It didn't work every time today, and that's for sure. Um, my accuracy was very low today. It's in 2x speed. I was holding this one for a bit. I'm just gonna fast forward so you guys can see what happened. Another doji candle, but it actually ended up pulling away a little bit. Not really pulling away, just giving a little pop there, but no real follow through. Um, yeah, just not the strongest day in the market at all. Um, but that's it for today's recap. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you all learned something. And if you guys found this video helpful, um, please hit that thumbs up button and please subscribe. Um, yeah, hopefully, hopefully you guys did better than me today. If not, it's okay. You probably couldn't have done worse, to be honest. Anyways, with that, I will see you all in my next recap. Peace.